Hey guys, Nick Espinosa, your chief security fanatic here, and it is Saturday, March 21st, 2020, and this is your coronavirus tech news. And basically, we are talking about the news that only relates to the tech or cybersecurity industry as it relates to the coronavirus. And if there's any proof that people are actually sheltering in place or self quarantine with or without orders from the government, it's Microsoft's numbers for the adoption of Microsoft Teams. Now, Microsoft Teams is basically claiming that they have now more than 44 million daily active users, which was their basically it doubles their previous record of 20 million in November. Now, they are nipping at the heels of Slack, who has been dominant in this space in terms of visibility. And so I personally love Slack, but Microsoft is essentially giving away Teams for free to Microsoft Office 365 users. And so we are probably going to see them dominate this industry, especially for non-technical companies, because tech companies love Slack, myself included. Other collaborative platforms like Slack, Zoom, RingCentral, and WebEx are all exploding their numbers right now, as they are scrambling to increase their infrastructure and bandwidth to basically adopt for this horde of incoming work from remote users. This is a good sign, I think, that companies are taking the coronavirus outbreak seriously and keeping their workers home. As we shelter in place, we start to help really flatten that curve as we are trying to combat this outbreak worldwide. So hopefully this will help combat that issue. Moving on, let's talk about NASA, because NASA is shutting down production and testing of its future deep space rocket and crew capsule in response to the coronavirus pandemic. The two vehicles are critical pieces to NASA's plan to return humans to the moon by 2024, but with development temporarily suspended, meeting that deadline is most likely going to be unlikely now, just given the delays thanks to the coronavirus. Now, this shutdown comes amid NASA's decision to heighten restrictions at two of their centers. The Michoud Assembly Facility in Louisiana and the Stennis Space Center in Mississippi are both moving to stage 4 within NASA's quote-unquote response framework for dealing with a pandemic, which is basically NASA's strictest stage at combating a pandemic or an outbreak within their organization. This means that basically remote work is absolutely mandatory and all travel is suspended within NASA. This change was made after an employee at the Stennis facility tested positive for coronavirus, or the COVID-19 infection, if you will. And this is according to a blog post by NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine. So no one at the Michoud has tested positive for the virus, but nevertheless, they are taking all precautions. Now, the interesting part of this, I think, is going to be SpaceX and other international government space agencies who may keep working on competing development against NASA. For example, SpaceX founder Elon Musk was fighting with authorities in California to keep Tesla, obviously the car manufacturer, online. That's another one of his babies, if you will, producing cars. And the county sheriff for Alameda in California actually had to shut down Tesla. So SpaceX may keep working on their own competing products, and we'll see where that goes. Moving on, there's more information coming out of Vice News. Now, a surveillance company is saying that they are deploying what they are calling a quote-unquote coronavirus detecting camera in the United States. Now, they're based out of Austin, Texas, and they are launching artificially intelligent thermal cameras that they claim will be able to detect fevers in people, and in turn basically send an alert to whoever is owning these cameras that they may be carrying the coronavirus. Now, this company, Athena Security, is pitching this product to be used in grocery stores, hospitals, and voting locations, interestingly enough, because if you forgot, it is 2020 and we are still going through primaries and eventually an election in November here, and they claim to be deploying the product at several customer locations in the upcoming weeks, including government agencies, airports, and Fortune 500 companies as well. To quote Athena, "Our fever detection COVID-19 screening system is now part of our platform, along with our gun detection system, which connects directly to your current security camera to deliver fast, accurate, and threat detection." end quote. Now, I think this is interesting because a recent article I actually read states that the typical 98.6 degree Fahrenheit temperature that humans have may actually be less now, because we've had decades of conditioning thanks to things like air conditioning and temperature control systems in our homes, our buildings, our workplaces, and all of that. And so basically humans are not really running at 98.6. And I'm sorry, I don't know the equivalent in Celsius. Whatever that is, please somebody tell me. I forgot to look that up. But the question then becomes, what happens if my average temperature, let's say me, is 97.6 now? And so I have a fever at 98.6 because my body temperature is 1 degree higher than normal. And suddenly I'm walking through one of these Athena security cameras that is registering me as 98.6, which makes me normal. How is it going to know that? I'm very curious to know if Athena is adopting for that, or if they are just taking that industry standard of 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit and whatever it is in Celsius. Again, I should have looked that up. And so now that we have humans falling inside or outside of that norm, what are they constituting that? Is 98.6 a fever for me and I could be a carrier? And we don't necessarily know. Obviously, if it's over that 99 or 100 or whatever, that's an obvious situation. But I think there may be some false positives here, or people that simply fly under the radar. Nevertheless, I think it's very interesting what they're doing. And I think it's going to catch a lot of people that may have temperatures that may not necessarily know, depending on how accurate these cameras are. It's just food for thought. And with that, those are your news bits for today, this Saturday. I hope everybody is staying healthy here as we continue to combat this. And we're going to see where this goes. But in the upcoming days, I'm sure I'll have more news on the coronavirus and cybersecurity as well. And so there it is. And I hope you guys are healthy. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.